At age 13, Charlie Brandt murdered his pregnant mother and then vanished into normal adult life. Decades later, his wife and niece were brutally killed inside a Florida home, exposing a hidden history of violence and suspected serial murder. Investigators would soon realize Brandt may have been killing for years while hiding in plain sight. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you thought you had childhood problems, stick around. Tonight's subject redefines family drama-induced trauma. But don't worry, everyone deserves a fresh start, right? This is Necronomipod.
I believe I asked this a few years back, but I like to always circle back to it just to see if things have changed, get updated, fresh perspectives. Gentlemen, I ask you, build me your perfect hot dog.
I don't know if this would have changed, but it definitely has changed. I would put sauerkraut, pickle, like a slice of a pickle, mustard, and then celery salt.
So you're toying with the Chicago style dog.
Yeah.
Getting
It's
close
missing
to
a couple things, but
Yeah. Good stuff. Sauerkraut's delicious on a hot dog.
I love a nice Polish boy with sauerkraut and stadium mustard. That is fucking fantastic. But I also like coleslaw, slaw dogs too. If I had to pick one, I would say sauerkraut, chopped onions, and stadium mustard on a Nathan's hot dog.
Stadium mustard, not bad. That's pretty
My
tasty.
go-to.
And you said on a Nathan, so you're getting specific with the actual dog too.
Yeah, I like Nathan's.
Yeah, Nathan's is good. Okay, I stick with I think it's called a Detroit Coney. Chili, chopped onions, mustard. It's my favorite hot dog.
That's good. Chili's good too. I cannot fault you at all there.
I love a chili dog. I've recently grown more in favor of Chicago style dogs as well. Those might be number 2 for me. There's a place not about a half hour from our house in Parma that's got dynamite Chicago style dogs. But whenever I go there, it's a real small place. Like you gotta kind of have to get it to go. I just stand in the parking lot and eat it because just so much fucking drips off of it. Like you can't eat it in the car.
I can't remember last time I had a good hot dog.
What does that mean? Don't you ever make some Nathans at your house?
Yeah, I guess just in the summer though, when you're cooking out and stuff. I don't think I ever make them in the winter.
It's not something people think about in the winter.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I think about them 365 days a year, but you know, it's the cookout food, right?
Yeah. I usually get one when I go to Costco, but I haven't been in a while. So,
oh man, those Costco ones are so good.
So good.
They are.
Dude, even if I'm there at like 9 or 10 in the morning, I still get a hot dog.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
just my breakfast for the day.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But like, can we get Costco to put in a toppings bar?
They just have a condiment bar, not a toppings bar.
Yeah. I'd pay an extra
little pack of onions.
I'd pay an extra 50 cents to have like a toppings bar. Put out some sauerkraut, put out some chili, put out some jalapenos or something, some diced
That'd
onions.
be nice. Yeah.
For an upcharge of 50 cents, you get access to the toppings bar. Otherwise, you just get the little condiment packets.
I can get behind that. That's a fucking great idea.
See, we should be the CEOs of Costco.
We should.
Also, we're closing the store. We're now just a hot dog stand.
That's right.
You get your pizza and your hot dogs. Those chicken bakes can fuck off.
Breaking news, Costco Incorporated saw their biggest one-day stock price decline today. Co-CEOs Mike and Dave closed the shuttered store operations in favor of a hot dog stand type setup.
we still keep the locations though, and we run the concession stand, and then the toppings bar is just 1,000 feet long, and it runs throughout the whole store. We have like a whole chip section where you can get like crumbled chips to put on your hot dog and like hot fries. This is gonna be all right.
But we still sell them for $1.50, and we lose money every day.
Yeah, but it's worth it because we're giving hot dogs to the masses. Please come eat our wieners. So anyways, that's what I got going on. Just thinking about hot dogs over here. What's up with you guys?
I have a question for Ian.
What's up?
I don't know if you watched the Grammys at all the other night.
I did not. I saw clips on TikTok and stuff, so I'm aware of some of the Grammy stuff.
Well, Deftones' Private Music, their album was nominated for Best Rock Album. They did not win. They lost to Turnstile. I was wondering if you had any thoughts on that. I'm a big Turnstile fan.
Yeah,
I think the Deftones album was probably better and probably should have won, but
I don't really listen to Turnstile, so I don't know the comparison too much. Like, I know they're super hyped up right now. Like,
yeah,
they're very, very popular.
they're good. I dig them. It's a good album, but I think Private Music was probably better.
Yeah.
All good, though.
I did see Spirit Box performed. That was cool.
I did not watch the Grammys at all, but I heard they played very well.
Yeah, I just saw a clip on TikTok.
Yeah.
Spirit Box.
Turnstile also won Best Metal Performance. I'm not sure if...
You sure about that?
Yeah, exactly. I would say the Grammys have a long history of ridiculous metal winners, going back to when Jethro Tull beat Metallica for Best Metal Grammy or whatever the fuck it was. So absurd.
Yeah. I don't know.
When I think about metal, I think about Jethro Tull.
That's weird.
So do the Grammy voters, apparently.
It's all the devil's music. What does it matter, Dave?
I will say I'm very happy to see Best Pop Solo Performance, Lola Young, who I love so much. It was phenomenal.
This is the first time I've heard that name.
She's excellent. If you never listen to her,
She's a pop star.
Yeah, British pop music. It's the winning. It's a song called "Messy." Very good.
Is it about the soccer player?
It is not.
Oh, well, you said she's English, so they just fucking adore soccer over there. Football. Excuse me, football.
I believe Messi's Argentinian, isn't he?
I don't know. It's just soccer. It's soccer. They just fucking. Who's the famous English soccer players? I don't know. Pele wasn't.
David Beckham?
Yeah, David Beckham.
Okay. Well, he's famous for marrying a Spice Girl. Let's call it like it is. Didn't he like give up his like European playing career to come play for like the LA like Galaxy or something or whatever the soccer team is in LA?
I think that's right.
And everyone was like,
huge
shitting on him.
contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is smart by the MLS, right? Try to bring in some big stars.
Absolutely. Oh, Messi's playing in Miami.
Okay. Why isn't he playing for, where'd you guys say he's Argentinian?
I think so, right?
Turned his back on his country and took the money in Miami. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm just trying to make it interesting. Says the guy who watches cars go left. Okay. Well, what else going on? Anything else?
That's all I got.
Ian, how'd you come across this one?
I was going through this is a listener suggestion.
Okay.
Pulled this off the list.
Off the request list?
Yeah.
And real quick, you had a unique show on Patreon this past week. How'd that go?
It went really well. Yeah, we did this thing where I had this idea to stream reading the Epstein files, and that turned into like, let's try to research a case live on stream. So it went really, really well, and we're gonna do the next one in a couple weeks here.
And this, like, you picked a case, you had no idea what it was, and you kind of went through how you research a case for the podcast, but people got to watch you, look at the files with you on your screen, and like chat along with you while you did the research.
Yeah, and like I was making notes of like what people were saying in the chat, like questions that they had about what we were talking about. So yeah, it was fun.
And you're going to do it again?
Keep going until I don't know where it's going to lead to, but we'll see. Maybe we'll just like make it into a whole episode, like we did it together, kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And you're going to do it again at the end of February.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if you want to see kind of how the sausage is made, patreon.com/Necronomipod. You can watch the video still. We have the feed up from the last one you did. Obviously, It's not live, so don't try to comment. And then you'll be doing it live again at the end of the month. And we'll post ahead of time so that people know when they can tune in.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And
Nice.
I had a lot of fun doing it.
Good.
Well, that Mike, did you say they could watch the sausage being made?
Sausage! Oh! Yeah, see how it's made. A little peek behind the curtain. Breaking kayfabe.
Yeah. But it was like, it just really, it flowed really well. So I think it's worth rewatching the first one too, because there's going to be shit that we find out in the second one.
The second one, you're going back to the same case?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's a part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I misunderstood if you had said that.
There'll probably be a part 3 too, I'm guessing.
Damn.
It's a lot to look into. Like I was kind of like, every time I clicked to the next slide, I was really like further and further down a rabbit hole. Someone in the chat said they felt like they were on a live true crime documentary, like solving a case. Like, yeah, this is kind of what it felt like. It was a lot of fun. So,
All right. Well, yeah. If you're planning on tuning in for part 2, you should probably go watch the feed for part 1. It's up on the Patreon feed. That's the what, Art Bell tier.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go check that out. What we got in this case tonight, Ian?
Carl Charlie Brandt was born on February 23rd, 1957, to Herbert and Ilse Brandt, German immigrants who came to the United States in the 1950s. He was the second kid, one older sister, Angela, and 2 younger sisters, Jessica and Melanie. His dad had an engineering job, so the family moved around a lot. And by 1968, they ended up in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And from what people said, Charlie was shy, but he did well in school. And he was kind of a mama's boy. That's how he was described. But that was it. There was nothing in his childhood that screamed he's going to be a future serial killer or anything like that until the night of January 3rd, 1971.
It was Dave's 35th birthday.
I was just going to mention I was not even born yet on that day. So
Well.
how about that?
Well, maybe with that fake birth certificate you're running around with.
It's so funny. There's a guy, I watch the local news every morning when I get up, and there's a guy who's sort of my age on there, and the weather guy's probably your age.
Mm-hmm.
And they like go to weather totals, and it's like, last whatever in 1899, and he's like, oh, how was it that one? You were around back then. It's like the same bit that you guys do. I'm like, I feel for you, pal. I know what you go through there.
This elder abuse that we're dealing with.
So on that night, January 3rd, 1971, Charlie, he was 13 years old at the time, walked into the bathroom of their Fort Wayne house with his dad's 9mm gun. Herbert was at the sink shaving, and Elsa was in the bathtub. She was 8 months pregnant. Herbert yelled, quote, "Charlie, don't," but Charlie shot him in the back at point blank range. Then he turned the gun on his mom in the tub and fired multiple times, killing her. Elsa died right there in the water, and the baby didn't survive either. Herbert was badly wounded, but he survived.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Yeah, man. 0 to 100.
It's a hell of a way to kickstart a show, man. God damn.
After that, Charlie went into his 15-year-old sister Angela's bedroom and aimed the gun at her, but it jammed. Angela fought with him, wrestled the gun away, and said that he had like this weird glazed over look in his eyes. This trance he was in started to break. She said that she talked to him softly, telling him that she loved him, trying to calm him down. And she was able to get him to go check on the little sisters upstairs. And the second she had that opening, she ran out into the snow in this torn, bloody nightgown. Like when we say that they were fighting, like they were really fucking fighting over this gun and shit until he snapped out of it.
That makes sense because from Angela's standpoint, you either get it away or you're dead. Right?
Yeah.
She's literally fighting for her life.
Charlie wandered out of the house. Like he wasn't running after her, but still pursuing her. You know what I mean? But he's just kind of in this daze or coming out of it.
Like Michael Myers
That's
style,
exactly-
walking methodically.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
So Angela's run into the neighbor's house, and the neighbor named Sandy Radcliffe, she was 16 years old, opened the door and saw Charlie standing there calm, and he just said, quote, "Sandy, I just shot my mom and dad."
Sandy, that's no way to respond to something like that. What's Sandy doing these days? Did you do a follow-up interview with Sandy or anything to see what was happening in her life?
No.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Ian's like, no, I didn't waste my time doing that. Just trying to put a fucking outline together.
It's a new series I'm working on. It's like spotlight on ancillary eyewitnesses from stories when insignificant something.
Not even
The
eyewitnesses.
most
Let's-
deep cut people.
Yeah, let's do random characters like the the night shift janitor at the police station when they were investigating a homicide, and be like, let's spotlight this guy. I like it. That's good stuff.
That's not bad. I never thought anyone would want to interview me. I was standing on the sidewalk. Guess again, pal.
Detective Dan Feigl, he was a young investigator in Fort Wayne at the time, later said Herbert Brandt was lying in the hospital, badly wounded, just repeating, quote, "I don't know why my son did this." And Charlie didn't give anybody a clear motive. When they questioned him, Charlie said, quote, "Everything sort of just snapped in my mind," and that he felt a way that he'd, quote, "never felt before." He did bring up one thing from a family trip to Florida just a few days earlier. His dad had shot the family dog while they were out hunting.
He's got about as good of aim as Dick Cheney, I'd imagine.
Good old Dick Cheney.
I mean, I'm assuming the dog was injured and that's why, or he is just a terrible shot.
Also, this isn't like this is the motive kind of thing. This is just what he talked about.
Yeah.
You know, like he brought this up. He didn't specifically, like he never gave an answer as to like why I did this. He's like, I don't know. But regarding this dog incident in December 1970 on that Ormond Beach area vacation, Herbert took Charlie out hunting for quail. At some point, the family dog ran into these thick bushes and you couldn't see it anymore. Herbert called for the dog to come out. Nothing. He called again, still nothing. Charlie called for the dog too, and how it's told is usually when Charlie called, the dog would finally come out, but this time it didn't, so Herbert raised his rifle toward the bushes and fired 2 shots. One hit the dog and killed it, and Charlie ended up pulling the dog's body out of the bushes afterward. Herbert said it was an accident, that he was trying to scare the dog out of the bushes, not kill it. A later book called The Invisible Killer, The Monster Behind the Mask, floated the idea that this dog was shot on purpose, like as a way to toughen up Charlie. But there's no proof of that for sure.
I will tell you that if my father killed my dog in front of me when I was 13 years old, it would not toughen me up. It would probably fuck me up for a long time.
Yeah, that's not a way to toughen anybody up.
It does seem a little weird also that as like a hunter, he wanted to fire a shot to scare the dog, but then you shoot directly to where the dog might be. Like just shoot away from the bush.
Yeah, doesn't make much sense. Yeah.
No, Dick Cheney.
Also, I would love to go quail hunting sometime.
Yeah.
I've gone pheasant hunting before, and I feel like quail hunting might be fun as well.
Isn't that what Dick Cheney was doing? Was it quail hunting?
I think it was.
I don't know. Sounds right.
Yeah. Obviously, I have never been hunting.
Yeah,
He was shoot your friend in the face hunting. That's what he was doing. It's sad. The window for Dick Cheney jokes is rapidly closing, and I'm glad you got one in here tonight.
Yeah. The window doesn't have to close if we keep it open. You just got to keep his memory alive and all the fun that comes with it.
Good times.
Let's try to do that.
Now watch us drive. What a great era. What a great. You just didn't know what was coming next. Yeah, falling down steps, choking on pretzels, shooting your friend with a gun, watching drives. This is the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Yeah, wasn't so great if you lived in Iraq, but sure, it's okay for us.
Oh, you're having a hoot over here. It's like watching an episode of The Three Stooges.
It was exactly like watching an episode of The Three Stooges. Yes.
The good old days.
So Herbert said that it was an accident. This book says that he did it to toughen Charlie up. I don't know. But what we do know is that Herbert didn't stop the hunt after the dog was killed. Herbert and Charlie kept hunting for a couple more hours, and the dog was just left behind. And Charlie was trying not to cry in front of his dad. Then the trip ends. They packed up and drove back to Fort Wayne. And Charlie's carrying this incident with him on the drive home, right back into the night the shooting happened. I'm not saying that it's okay or that it has anything to do with the shooting, but it's a pretty traumatic thing that happened right before.
Yes, very much so. My dog dying, is probably the most traumatic thing that's happened to me in the past decade. So when you're 13, your dad shoots your dog in front of you. Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. Like this past was at Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving. We had to put our old golden retriever, put him down, and like we had somebody come over and do the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And like I stayed behind, like everybody else left because they were all sad. And I stayed. It like fucking broke my brain for a second, like how upset I was. Like,
yes.
So, and I'm what, 38, 30, well, I'm 39 now. So yeah, it's fucking terrible.
I'm 54. It's the worst thing I've had to do in a long, long time. It's awful. Yeah.
Like one way or another, whether he did it to toughen him up or not, it's kind of irrelevant. I guess it's traumatic no matter what.
The show was a lot more fun when we were talking about hot dogs. You guys really bummed me.
Now we're talking about dead dogs. I'm thinking about when I put my dog down and stuff. And I'm like, fuck, man. Now I'm going to get super drunk tonight. I'm going to be all slurring by the end of this show. This is fucking horrible. My wife's talking about getting a new puppy. I'm like, I don't really want to go through that again. Now I'm really against it, thinking about the dead dogs and shit.
Isn't it Louis C.K. has a bit where he's like, when you buy a dog, you're essentially buying a small tragedy.
Exactly right.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't want to do it again, man. It's horrible. Horrible.
I don't know that I could ever be without a dog. I would feel lost in life, I think, if I didn't have a dog. I've always had a dog at all times.
I have too. I've been really against getting another one, though, man. It was really tough on me last time.
Well, but also, Dave, now the amount of traveling you're doing, that's a bigger headache when you have a dog, right? You got to board them or have people come over, stay. You got to always worry about that.
That's a lot of it. That's the excuse I've been making, sure.
It's a fair excuse, though.
It absolutely
Especially because, when you board them or put them in some of those places, a lot of them are good, but you never know with some of them what they might be.
No. Also, it's funny. I was going to mention earlier that with the lighting Ian was doing earlier, the angle he was at, he looked like Louis C.K. in his chair over there. That's so funny you mentioned Louis C.K.
So authorities ordered 3 separate psychiatric evaluations of Charlie, and the result was the same every time. There was no clear mental illness and no motive that explained why he did what he did. One psychiatrist noted that he did well in school. He was generally loving toward his family, and he showed, quote, no psychosis, no distorted thinking that would explain doing something like this. Herbert Brandt didn't accept what happened here and always wanted Charlie back home. Pushed for it nonstop. And then in June 1972, he got what he wanted and got Charlie released from psychiatric custody and brought back into the family. Herbert was extremely blunt with this, and it was non-negotiable. He moved the family to Florida and did not talk about the shooting, not with Charlie, not as a family, nothing. This just never happened.
He shot his 8-month pregnant mom in the bathtub and killed her and the kid, and we're just not going to talk about it.
And he shot you in the back too.
Yeah,
he tried to fucking kill you as well.
They're like, we're going to keep Charlie for a little bit. And Dad's like, 99999.
Get it? Because he's German.
Yeah. Okay.
This is such a crazy story of the denial, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know how you just have a you just picture the family sitting down at dinner. You're just looking at your brother across the table. Like, you fucking shot my mom and killed her in the bathtub. And now we're just having dinner here. We're eating our pork and beans and hot dogs. And I don't know, man. Yeah. It's tough to just picture this in reality.
It's like that fucking scene in Hereditary, where after that fucking kid decapitates his sister and then they all sit down to dinner the next day.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like there's some unspoken animosity here, I feel, percolating.
A little bit.
Fucking Angela's like, I had to wrestle a gun away from this guy. Now I'm passing him the spaghetti.
So this whole plan or whatever Herbert was doing here, it worked best on the 2 youngest girls because they were babies when their mother was killed and all this happened. So they didn't have the same before and after memory that Angela had. She was fucking 15 years old. Like, we were just joking around that,
Yeah.
you know, how are you supposed to move past this?
You can't.
Which that's what I was going to say. And then I stopped myself. But like, what type of abuse did Herbert put on Angela to get her to bottle that down? You know what I mean? Like, you have to be I don't know, you have to get your point across somehow. And I feel like a drastic way.
Well, and then just after that, the ongoing emotional abuse that you're putting on her every single day on all the kids.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's the murderer of their mom.
Yeah, you're making your daughter live with the person that murdered her mom and tried to kill her with the gun jam.
And her unborn sibling.
Yeah. I don't even know how that's possible. I'm trying to put myself in a situation and no, I cannot abide.
And it's so crazy that after shit hits the fan and, you know, this whole story wraps up, the two sisters that were babies at the time, they fully believed that their mother had died in a car crash right up until all this happened in 2004. So they lived their whole lives believing that she had died in a car crash.
Which is unfortunate that they didn't know the truth, but also maybe made for a little bit easier of a life, you know, as kids. Like not knowing, like, oh, hey, this is your brother who murdered your mom.
Yeah, Angela's living in the same house with someone who tried to kill her. And probably every night she goes to sleep thinking, this motherfucker's going to do it again.
Yeah, how do you ever go to sleep after that?
And she's probably also living with the guilt of lying to her 2 sisters, keeping that from them. I'm sure there's probably some of that too.
Absolutely.
Probably some of that mixed with also I'll protect them from it type, you know. I don't want them to have to go through what I'm going through every day.
Yeah, Herbert really fucked up on this one. He should have just let Charlie stay there and get the help he needed and taking care of the rest of his family. We wouldn't be talking about this, I don't think.
We're going to get to the root of the problem. It really starts with his parents because they named him Herbert.
Well, if we're going to get to the root of that, they were probably Nazis, and Herbert should have went to Argentina, not to the United States.
We don't know for sure. We can't confirm.
Well,
we're back talking about Argentina again. Look at this. This is an Argentinian heavy show.
Herbert wasn't working for NASA. There's no reason for him to be in this country. He could have went to Argentina, pal. With Mengele and all the other fuckboys down there.
We just fucking turned Herbert into a Nazi. We don't know any of that to be true.
Was Herbert alive in Germany during the war? Answer, yes.
What was he?
Does that make him a Nazi? Answer, yes. I'm painting with broad strokes tonight, folks. Too bad.
All right. Things are being said.
You made me think about my dead dog tonight. Now it's just going to be a free.
Look, pal, nobody made you tell that story. You went down a dark path there, man.
Herbert did. He killed the family dog. He made me do it. Fucking Herbert. 99999. Now I'm fucking unhinged.
Yeah.
Thanks, Herb.
You were going through all the emotions. 20 minutes ago, you were clinically depressed. Now you're just blackout rage.
So in 1973, not long after Charlie got out, the family relocated to Florida. And super fucking weird, they went back to Ormond Beach, the same coastal town that they'd vacationed the previous Christmas, just days before the shooting. Very strange.
Herbert's not much of a fresh start kind of guy, is he?
No, man, just get out of town, dude.
What? One trauma's not enough? Let's go visit the other trauma.
Oh.
You shoot your mother in the tub? I take you to where we shoot the dog in the bush.
Oh, Herbie.
Fucking Florida, right? Am I right?
Florida.
Who needs it? Chop it off, let it float in the Gulf of America.
Herbert went from a Nazi to Florida man. He's not even the villain of the story.
Within about a year of being in Florida, Herbert got remarried, and the two youngest daughters went with Herbert and his new wife back to Indiana. Charlie, who was 16 at this point, stayed in Florida with his grandparents, and Angela stayed down there too. I'm very unclear about the grandparents. I couldn't find anything that said like how they felt about Charlie or like how they were kept in the dark, you know, as far as the mother being killed.
Yeah. Well, and Angela was 18 at this point, right? So she probably had her own thing going on, which is why she didn't, she wasn't a kid anymore. It's not like she's going to leave with dad.
Right.
Oh, I'm quite confident on the 18th birthday. She's like, bags packed.
Yeah.
Deuces.
So that's how Charlie started this new life surrounded by people who had no clue what had happened in Fort Wayne.
Fresh start, right?
For real, a fresh start.
Everyone needs a fresh start.
Not Herbert. He likes to rehash the past.
On the surface, he seemed to adjust fine. He finished high school, went to college, and earned a degree in electronics in 1984. By his late 20s, he had a solid job in Florida as a radar technician with Ford Aerospace. And day to day, he came off as quiet and unremarkable. Nobody would have guessed that he killed his mom when he was 13 years old.
Yeah. Hey, Charlie, is there any chance you killed your mom when you were 13? You don't seem like the type. No? Yeah, I didn't think so. 999.
I feel like you could say that about most people, though. Like, how many people do you interact with that you're like, oh shit, they for real killed somebody?
I'm going to put a challenge out to you both. The next 5 people you meet who you've never met before, I want you to ask them if they killed their mom when they were 13 years old and see how many of those 5 people killed their mom when they were 13.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to take me till April to meet 5 new people, okay? I live in a bubble.
Yeah, unless I walk up to a stranger, which I'm not doing that. It's going to take me a minute to meet these 5 people.
Oh my God, I shot her when I was 15. You were 2 years off. How did you know? I don't think I've met a new person in the past 10 years.
So who wants to meet people? Sounds
Too
horrible.
much. So around 1985, Charlie's older sister, Angela, finally told somebody outside the family what happened. She broke down and told her husband at the time, Jim Graves, that Charlie had killed their mom years earlier. Jim was stunned, right? But then he met Charlie and he doesn't see this dangerous guy. And to Jim, he's thinking, well, Charlie seems all right now. Like, bygones be bygones, I guess. And they end up becoming good friends.
Golly gee, I know you shot your mom and killed her and all, but you seem all right now, friend. All right. I don't know, man. Wouldn't you always be uneasy around someone if you found out they shot their mom when they were 13?
I certainly would, but at the same time, like, if I'm Jim, I'm like, well, the family accepts him. He's my brother-in-law. He's going to be around. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, you can't just go beat the shit out of him. Clearly, everyone's okay with that. I think you just got to kind of go with the flow, right? You still have your guard up. I wouldn't have him sleeping at my house.
I wonder if, because I think we're going to learn later that Angela, over the next 20 years, is going to be probably terrified this whole time that something's going to happen. And I wonder if she was fully honest with her husband, Jim, as to how she felt, because it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, it seems, unless Jim just really didn't give a shit about how she felt, which we have no proof or evidence of that.
Yeah.
You'd assume maybe she wasn't fully honest because Jim and Charlie are good. They end up being pretty good friends.
Mm.
In mid-1986, Jim found out a friend of his, Terry Helfrich, was looking for a boyfriend, and he immediately thought of Charlie. Charlie and Terry met, they hit it off, and it moved really fast. They got married on August 29th, 1986, with Jim as the best man. We've brought this issue up a couple of times, I feel, recently, at least once in the past month, where nobody shows up to a wedding, and that's what happened here.
Yeah.
None of Charlie's blood relatives showed up to the wedding. It's got to be a red flag when nobody shows up.
It is a red flag for sure. And also, like, what's Jim's selling point there? Like, I have this friend. Hear me out. He killed his mom when he was 13, but he's awesome. He's turned it around. He installs radar systems. He hasn't killed anybody since 1971. I really think you would like him.
That's how you sell it.
Before the wedding, Angela had told Charlie, urged him, you need to tell Terry what you did in 1971 before you marry her. Jim Graves said the same thing. Charlie claimed that he did, and Jim later said that after the honeymoon, he asked them about having kids. And according to Jim, Terry replied, quote, considering everything. She didn't think it was a good idea. And Jim took that as a sign that she knew the truth and that they decided to not start a family.
I think she just meant because Reagan was president and the world was probably going to end. Not sure she was talking about Charlie smoking his mom in 1971. But I don't know. I don't have any information. I'm just guessing.
To this day, Terry's family doubts that she was ever told. They believe that she would have never married Charlie and wouldn't have stayed with him for 18 years if she knew what he did. And that's one of the biggest unanswered questions in this whole story is, whether or not Terry knew the truth about this, which is just so crazy that she's that is like one of the questions. Everybody was lying to her too.
Well, I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. President, for dropping by.
I don't even know my name. How would I know if Terry knew?
By all outward accounts, through the late 80s, Charlie and Terry looked like this loving, successful couple. Terry owned a small retail gift shop in Daytona Beach. Charlie was doing good at his aerospace job. In 1989, they designed and built their dream house. It was a $600,000 stilt house on Big Pine Key down in the Florida Keys. Charlie loved fishing. Terry decorated the place like, this whole tropical beach vibe. Neighbors liked them. Friends thought that they were great, Perfect couple.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Looking back, there are little hints of things. In the early 1990s, Terry made private notes in her diary about Charlie's behavior, their bouts of depression, and, quote, weird talk. A few times she noted that he'd stay out really late, sometimes all night, with no explanation. But even then, it's not like her diary was full of red flags. 99% of it was just normal life stuff, fishing trips, dinner plans, stuff like that. And the term weird talk is never explained, so we kind of have to assume what she meant by that. But
probably like mecca lecca hi, mecca hiney ho, probably stuff like that.
Yeah, the typical stuff.
Yeah.
I say that at least 6 times a day. It's when I orgasm. Well, that's for weirdos.
Can you imagine if that's what you said when you orgasm?
It would be so great. Hey, this poor woman's trapped under you, and she's like, "What the fuck is he doing?"
And Cherry answers back, "Mechalaka, mechalini ho."
We're a little bit off the rails
Ian
here.
just got a
tonight.
visual. Ian just got a visual of Cherry talking. I saw him.
My face hurts.
Who was it? It wasn't Cherry.
for what?
Who the Mechaleka High? Who was the? It wasn't. It was the wizard. Jesus Christ! Who was it? Zombie. Sorry. Right? Wasn't Zombie who was doing that back and forth?
How did you come up with Cherry?
That's the chair in Pee Wee's Playhouse, but it wasn't Cherry. It was Zombie doing the Mechaleka High, Mechalini Ho, wasn't it?
Oh,
Mechaleka High, Mechalini Ho.
Sorry, dude, I was confused.
Right? I got a little confused too.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry,
Zombie.
When you said Cherry, I thought you were just talking about a girl because I was talking about finishing on top of someone. And then you said Cherry, and I was like, I just assumed you were making a joke that I didn't get, and I just rolled with it.
Yeah, I heard it as cherry, but like CH.
Oh yeah,
like the fruit.
R-Y, right?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but like a girl's name, Cherry, or like a stripper or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Excuse me, a dancer.
Zombie. I kept saying Cherry. Zombie.
Oh, speaking of back to fruit, like the Cranberry song, Zombie, Zombie. It's a great song. Zombie. Hey, hey. It all ties back to fruit.
Always does. I had some strawberries today. Did I tell you guys that?
No.
Yeah, they were good.
You failed to text us that earlier today when you were eating some strawberries. Like, hey guys, I'm eating some strawberries. All right.
Yeah, they were good.
Good.
They're from Meijer.
Okay. I have yet to be at Meijer.
Well, it's a good store.
I try to avoid going north of the square whenever possible.
Well,
But maybe one day I'll check it out. I'll venture over there. The other side of the tracks, so to speak.
well, I'm not sure you're wanted up there, fella.
Well, I'm not wanted most places, but motherfucker never stopped me.
So in July of 1989, that's not too long after Charlie and Terry moved into that house that they built, a local woman was brutally killed near their property.
Oh, no.
And Terry told Jim she was thinking about calling the sheriff because of, quote, Charlie's past that was bothering her in relation to it. Remember, this is all according to Jim, too. So when Jim hears this, that, she's questioning Charlie about this, Jim was floored because he's thinking, well, now she knows for sure about Charlie's past, and she's also connecting it to a murder. But this is all going on in his head, too, the way he's describing it.
Well, what else would she be talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're Jim, I'm right there thinking with him, right? Like,
Yeah.
and also, that's not something you're going to actively like bring up all the time. Like, you're going to say his past. You're not going to say when he fucking killed his mom.
Right.
Like, you're just going to say his past.
You don't say that in polite company. Right.
Right.
Say his past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get where Jim's coming from. Like, he's the dots are connecting in his brain for Terry knowing.
It would be weird if, yeah, like you can't just bring it up bluntly every single time.
Yeah, like what's Jim supposed to say? Like, oh, when you say his past, you mean when he fucking killed his mom?
Right.
Like, you're not going to say that.
So at that point, Jim confronted Charlie, and he's like, "Hey, man, your wife thinks that you might have done this," and Charlie denied it. And at that point, Jim dropped it and didn't move further with it. And I mean, what are you gonna do? I guess
Follow Charlie around at night, see what he's up to.
yeah, you could do that. You could take a Burbs route.
Yeah.
On July 16th, 1989, fishermen under the bridge at North Pine Channel on Big Pine Key spotted what they first thought was a waterlogged mannequin and then realized that it was a body. It was 38-year-old Sherry Pericho. She was a local woman who lived on a small anchor dinghy on the channel not far from the Brandt's house.
What's a dinghy? Is that like a small boat?
It's like a floating dock, isn't it?
She just lived on a floating dock?
Like a house on a dock?
Like a house was on the dock. Okay.
No, I'm going to look up a picture so I know for sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. A dinghy is a small boat, typically 6 to 20 feet long. What the fuck am I talking about? Never mind.
So that makes
A
sense.
jetty. That's a dock. Sorry. Wrong word.
It's a terrible boat to live on.
Yeah. Doesn't sound fun.
Like the picture of it's fucking terrible.
Oh, I got to look this up.
I just think Declan when I hear dinghy. Dumb fuck.
Yeah, there's not even shelter on this thing. What the fuck? You can't live on that. It's a raft in the water.
Yeah. That's weird, huh?
That is only slightly better than the makeshift float Tom Hanks made to save himself in Castaway. It is only the slightly better version.
Wilson!
Oh, I love that movie. He's got like 12 lines in that whole movie.
It's great.
Yeah.
I watch it a lot. I've seen that movie a lot of times.
It's on TV quite often.
My favorite part is when he knocks his tooth out. Does his own dental surgery in the cave.
Is it your favorite part, or is that when you pass out watching it on your couch?
I go, I start tingly all over, and then I almost fall asleep.
When he puts the one rock in his mouth, and then he starts counting, and he's crying. I'm like, oh, please don't do it. Please don't do it. That plane crash scene is also terrifying. That's a very, from what I would imagine, realistic plane crash.
It did seem very realistic to me.
Yeah, and it just freaks me out.
It's probably what happened to my FedEx delivery that they lost last month.
It's on an island right now, saving some guy's life. It's
Fucking jerk off FedEx.
Pair of figure skates.
So investigators believe that she was attacked at night while she was sleeping on the boat. Like the killer came up, got on board, overpowered her, and then did everything right there on this small boat. Her throat had been cut so deeply that she was nearly decapitated. She was cut open, and her heart had been removed. So a lot going on that small boat.
That is an extra step you don't normally see in situations like this.
It's pretty extreme. A witness that night said that they saw a lone man crossing U.S. Highway 1 near the bridge, and police put together a composite sketch from that description. But at the time, nobody got identified, and for 17 years, Sherry's murder sat there unsolved. The sketch was the only real lead. I don't know. Sketches are...
The sketch does not look like him to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like...
It's not great.
No.
I think there's something about the eyes that are close, but the overall composite sketch does not look like this guy.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the cheeks are too like perfect, like it's very perfect jawline and shit.
Yeah,
going on.
might have been a bad sketch artist.
Yeah, and going back to, Terry having a hunch about Sherry's murder with Charlie being involved. Jim later said under oath that on the night of the killing, Charlie came home disheveled and with blood on him. Terry asked what happened, and Charlie casually said that the blood was from filleting fish, which is weird because it was a weekday night and he never went fishing on weekdays. And also, fish don't bleed that much. Like, we're talking about a lot of fucking blood. Like, it doesn't make sense. And apparently she accepted it, or at least went along with it, because she never wrote about that in her diary. And this is from Jim after the fact. Not saying that Jim's wrong. I just keep like I feel like the way I wrote this, not wanting to jump the timeline and be like, okay, Terry is a victim here. But I'm seeing like that kind of made me word things like Jim's being shady or something, which he's not. He's just like recounting what happened, like his version of things, because she does end up being a victim here.
Look, Jim married into a fucked up situation and is just trying to do his best to get by.
And Jim also facilitated his friend Terry marrying into a very fucked up situation.
Well, that's true. He did that. That didn't help.
He should have been... I feel like he could have directly talked to her one time, Terry, and been like...
Because he had that relationship with her already.
Right.
That he could have been like, hey, you're my friend. Here's what I'm getting you into.
Yeah. Or even he never... The way that I read everything was that he never had this for sure 100% conversation with Terry. Like, this is what he did. It was just always assumed. Based on context, because I feel like he could have, or he should have, had an actual, like, at least a couple sentence conversation about it.
Right.
Like, did he for sure tell you, kind of thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It sounds dismissive, after the fact, hindsight 2020. But if she doesn't know that much about fishing, and he has some blood on him, and he comes home, he's like, "Yeah, I was fishing, and I filleted the fish, and it got all over me." Like, that's not on her.
No, that's not an immediate trigger sign that you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, red flag.
You're not thinking your husband's out killing people. If he tells you got fish blood on you, you're going to assume that he got fish blood on him, right? It's not this huge red flag or warning sign.
But could be if you did truly know he had killed in the past.
Yes.
If you
your
knew.
spidey sense should be up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it would take years before investigators connected Charlie to Sherry's murder. And in the meantime, other murders of women happened around Florida. Murders that, looking back, when you kind of go through like the timeline of everything, fit this same kind of pattern. One of the earliest cases was on September 20th, 1978 in Volusia County. Charlie was 21 at the time and living in that area. A 12-year-old girl, Carol Sullivan, vanished from her school bus stop in Osteen that day. Later, her skull was found inside a bucket, but most of her remains were never recovered. There wasn't hard evidence tying Charlie to this crime beyond the fact that it was the same place, that he lived there in the same area when it happened. This is kind of like the start of Charlie's timeline, though, is the murder of this girl. Another case people later looked at was about a decade after that. On December 16th, 1988, 20-year-old Lisa Sanders was killed on No Name Key. This is a small island right next to Big Pine Key.
You're not going to tell us the name?
Yeah.
Who's on first, Ian?
Lisa had only recently moved to the Florida Keys, and she had survived leukemia as a kid, which makes this even more sad for her that she ends up being a victim to this shit. But she and a 4-year-old female friend were found dead in the Lower Keys scrubland, not far from where Lisa was last seen.
She's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Brigham Young.
Oh, come on now. That's boo.
Jeez. Lisa's body was beaten and stabbed, and when they found her, authorities noted that her heart was missing. The child victim makes this case stand out from all the murders we're going to talk about. 4 years old, that's really young, but that missing heart detail is super specific.
Yeah, there's a lot of serial killers and murderers out there, but removing the heart thing is very specific.
Yeah. We've never talked about that before on this show.
Nope.
No.
A lot of genital mutilation, not a lot of heart removal.
A lot of genital mutilation.
I've been thinking about Cherry throwing his arms up and shit. I saw a TikTok that was like something about like when people ask why I'm so weird. It was talking about, and it's like shit that I watched, and it was Cherry throwing his arms up and shit.
Phenomenal.
That's going to be stuck in my head all night.
So that was in 1988. Fast forward to 1995, another woman's body turned up, this time in Miami. On November 25th, 1995, the remains of 38-year-old Darlene Toller were found dumped near a highway in Little Havana. Darlene was a sex worker who'd last been seen alive in the Redlands area. When they found her, she was wrapped tight in blankets and plastic, quote, almost like a package, left for police to find. And once again, you get that same pattern where the killer decapitated her and cut out her heart. Head and heart were missing from the scene.
Like Kiss says, Mike, hide your heart.
Right. They certainly do.
They probably wrote it thinking about this, right?
Well, they didn't write that song. That was a cover.
Oh, okay.
They can't write a song that good. They just cover them. And it's incidentally one of Kiss's best songs.
It really is. It's Bonnie Raitt's song, right?
I think something like that.
I think Bonnie Raitt wrote it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
that all tracks, yeah.
And then they followed that up. I think like one of the next albums was their Ballad Forever, which Paul wrote, but with Michael Bolton. It was, you're on a good...
It's forever.
It's like a classic 80s power ballad.
Yeah.
Hide Your Heart really is a damn good Kiss song.
That's one of my favorite Kiss songs.
Yeah, that might be top 5.
It's compelling. The lyrics are compelling.
Was that on Crazy Nights in 86?
No.
It wasn't. Was it on Hot?
89.
Was it on Hot in the Shade?
Album. Yeah.
So it's on the same album as Forever. Paul was just going to everyone else to write their songs at that point. I think you're right, Dave.
Yeah, 89. Hot in the Shade.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good album.
It's a good album.
History with Mike and Dave. Coming at you. 1989. That would be a fun show. We could do some Kiss talk. And at this point in their career, Paul was shaving his chest hair to be more of a V, pointing down to his groinal region.
Groinal.
All right.
Investigators also found some dog hair stuck to the tape and the blanket that were around this victim.
Ian, was that the dog Herbert shot? Was it that dog hair?
No, I don't think it was.
This whole show is off the rails. 12 seconds ago, we're talking about Paul Stanley's body hair, and now we're talking about dead dogs.
Yeah, there's a lot of dead dog talk in this show. Too much for me.
You're the one that keeps bringing it up, man. We're trying to move on. I'm going to set you up with a therapist here, pal. You got to work some stuff out.
Could BetterHelp help me, Mike, deal with the death of my dog a couple years ago?
Incidentally, they probably could. We'll set you up with one of their licensed professionals. You don't like that professional, you can change at any time. No charge.
That's phenomenal.
BetterHelp.com/necro. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/necro. Is this even one of their shows? Did we just give them a free thing? All right, sorry. Go ahead, Ian.
After Darlene Toller's 1995 murder, South Florida kept producing cases of murdered women, mostly clustered between February 25th, 1997 and August 2001, behind strip mall landscaping, chain stores, dumpsters. They found bodies inside luggage, left in places where someone would definitely find the body. That cluster later got lumped together as the South Florida serial murders. We have to note that Charlie is not responsible for all of these, but for sure he's responsible for some of them.
Florida's a horrible place.
Yeah, there's multiple guys here that are just up to no good.
Yeah. A lot of people in Florida up to no good.
I was going to say, this entire story aside, Florida is no good.
Yeah.
I think that's long been established on this podcast.
It's just chop them off and let them float into the Gulf of America. I feel like we said that before.
You did.
Oh, okay. It sounded very familiar.
You did.
Yeah, like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, fucking A. I remember the first time I was ever in Florida. Like, you grow up hearing about Florida, Disney, and it just seems like, oh, it's fantastic. Beaches, this and that. If you drive through Florida, it is a terrible, terrible place. It is nothing like you see in those couple of nice places in Florida. It's like just driving through Central Florida. It is a hellhole. It is awful.
I drove all the way to Miami once.
It's awful.
It's not great. No. Which, to be fair, you can say about a lot of states, right? If you're not by the big cities, the tourist cities, they're not great, but yeah. But then you throw in the heat and the humidity and the fucking alligators and then Florida people.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
On February 25th, 1997, Sandra K. Walters, she was 32, was a sex worker found strangled and nude behind an adult bookstore in Palm Beach County. Police believe that she'd just been picked up by a John and murdered. March 16th, 1997, Star Stowe, age 40, turned up half naked in bushes behind an Eckerd pharmacy in Coral Springs. She was Playmate of the Month for the February 1977 issue of Playboy and the former girlfriend of Gene Simmons. So, how about that?
More kiss talk.
Yeah.
That is a good-looking girl.
From what I read, she moved to Fort Lauderdale in 86 and then like dancing in clubs and stuff got her into drugs and shit. And then that turned into full-time sex work.
I was in Fort Lauderdale for work years ago. Some sort of conference or something. I skipped it. I went and sat on the beach across the street, and it was a topless beach. And I'm like, I didn't know this was a topless beach. This is pretty fucking cool, man. And I have been a big fan of Fort Lauderdale ever since. That's the end of my story.
All right.
After Star Stowe, from between 1997 into 2001, there's a string of murders of women that were investigated like they could be connected to one person, and eventually you see that they start getting solved, where like one guy's responsible for 3 of them. But there's still some outliers, and later on when a task force started digging into Charlie, they found that he was a big stickler for detail, and that he logged every gasoline purchase and the odometer readings for his vehicles. So when police went through the logs, they found these unexplained spikes in mileage that lined up with several murders. Like around the day that Darlene Toller was killed in Miami, about 100 miles away, Charlie noted an extra 200-mile round trip on his truck, which matches a drive from Big Pine Key up to the Miami area and back. And during these stretches when those South Florida sex workers were getting killed, his odometer records show way more miles than his normal commute would explain.
Bam, motherfucker. Gotcha.
Through the 90s and into the early 2000s, to everyone around him, Charlie was just this ordinary guy. He had a steady job with a defense contractor and traveled all over installing radar systems. And when he wasn't working, he was fishing and having a good relationship with his wife. To Terry's relatives, the Helfrich and Jones families, Charlie was like this beloved uncle figure, and he was especially close with his niece by marriage, Michelle Lynn Jones. She was Terry's sister's daughter, and Charlie had known her since she was a teenager. By her 30s, Michelle was living around Orlando and doing well in TV. She was an executive at the Golf Channel, and Charlie adored her like this proud uncle.
Well, it seems like par for the course.
Later on, investigators learned that it wasn't really like a proud uncle thing necessarily. They found that he was fixated on Michelle, and that the way he talked about her wasn't like normal family talk. Charlie called her Victoria's Secret, and Detective Bob Hermert later said, quote, he always referred to Michelle as Victoria's Secret, and he never referred to her as Michelle. That's fucking weird.
Very strange.
Yeah.
After the murders, that nickname hit a lot harder when police searched Charlie's house and found Victoria's Secret's catalogs addressed to him, like an obsessive amount of the catalogs.
Jesus, man, the internet exists.
I just canceled my subscription. I get Declan's catalogs. I get Jimmy Igloo catalogs. No, I don't.
Getting 5 Victoria's Secret catalogs a month or a quarter whenever they put them out.
Michelle's best friend, Lisa Emmons, said that before anything happened, Charlie came off, quote, very quiet and reserved, and she and Michelle used to describe him as, quote, eccentric. He was odd, but never came off as dangerous. In September 2004, the thing that set the final stretch of Charlie's life in motion was a hurricane. That month, Hurricane Ivan was headed toward the Florida Keys. On September 2nd, evacuation orders went out, so Charlie and Terry packed up and headed north from Big Key Pine. Michelle, who was 37 at the time, invited them to stay at her house in Maitland outside Orlando until the storm passed. How it's told is Michelle was genuinely excited about it. It was supposed to be like this fun family hurricane party weekend kind of thing. And at first, that's what it was. They were hanging out by the pool, cooking together, and spending time with Michelle's close friends, Lisa Emmons and Debbie Knight. Michelle also called her mom, Mary Lou, every day to check in. On Monday, September 13th, Michelle called her friend Lisa and told her not to come over like they had planned for because Charlie and Terry had gotten into an argument after some drinking.
Should people be allowed to drink? Doesn't it just lead to arguments and stuff?
I've never been in an argument while drinking.
I know. I'm a happy drunk too.
Yeah, I'm just very passive. I just want to chill out and talk
Yeah.
and bullshit and, well, just have a good time.
A lot of people are angry drunks. I never got that. I'm a happy drunk.
Yeah, I just want to talk about like hot dogs and stuff and like,
Yeah,
let's
and
debate.
eat hot
Let's debate
dogs.
toppings. Yeah, and then eat hot
Yeah.
dogs.
Angry drunks should never be allowed to drink again. We should have prohibition for angry drunks.
That's true.
Fun-loving fellas like us, we can just drink whatever we want. 'Cause
All the
we
time.
don't- We're not angry.
Give us their alcohol. We'll take it. And we'll just be, happy little hippos.
I don't like angry drunks. Killjoys. Fuck off. That's all. Don't worry. Be happy. Bobby McFerrin.
We don't know exactly what happened that night. We have to assume some of this, but we assume that Charlie attacked Terry first while she was lying on the couch. He stabbed her in the chest 7 times, killing her. Then he went after Michelle. Using knives from Michelle's kitchen, he overpowered her and stabbed her repeatedly. After that, he mutilated her. He decapitated her and placed her head on the floor next to her body. He cut her open and removed her internal organs and heart with what was described as clinical precision.
That's his family. That's his family he just did this to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's his favorite niece.
No.
After all that, Charlie washed himself off, changed into clean clothes, and went into the garage. And there he made a noose out of bed sheets and hanged himself. For 2 days, nobody found them. Mary Lou started getting worried when she couldn't reach Michelle by phone. And on Wednesday afternoon, September 15th, she asked Michelle's friend, Debbie Knight, to go check the house. Debbie gets there and the doors are all locked. So she looked through the glass on the garage door and she saw Charlie hanging from the beam. So she immediately called 911. Officers forced their way, and as you could imagine, inside it's a brutal scene. This woman's decapitated and all of her organs were removed and stuff. It's terrible.
Hmm.
But immediately that raises a question to investigators: is like, who the fuck is this guy? And what else has he done? Because this isn't the first time he's done something like this. Within hours of the discovery, Charlie's old secret from Indiana started spilling out. His sister Angela drove to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, and in a taped interview with Detective Rob Hemmert, she laid out what happened on the night of January 1971 when Charlie murdered their mother and then tried to kill the rest of the family. Hemmert and the other investigators were just like floored, right?
What?
Like, what the fuck? But for Michelle's parents, Bill and Mary Lou Jones, this was infuriating for them because they realized that Herbert and Angela had known all along that Charlie was capable of extreme violence, and nobody warned Terry or anyone.
Allegedly. Our pal Jim thinks Terry knew all along.
There might be some of that where like the victim's family is just very upset at the circumstances of what has happened here.
Oh God, yeah, I'm sure.
You know, if I would like try to put myself in their shoes, I would feel the same way. I'd be like, what the fuck? Why weren't?
Sure.
I would feel like we all deserve to be told explicitly. I don't know that you actually do deserve that or not, but I get what they feel.
I would agree that if you... So Mary Lou was Terry's sister, and if my daughter, Michelle, is going to be hanging around with her aunt and her husband, I deserve to know if you know that your husband shot and killed his mother when he was 13 years old. I think that's fair. And as should everyone else in the family. I'm for full disclosure.
I don't think that you could make a healthy argument to keep it in the dark, right?
No, I fully agree.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's just absurd. I have not, nor have I ever dated a 7-year-old.
I said I'm for full disclosure, Mike. I appreciate you letting us know that.
Yeah, let's put that out there. It needs to be said. Facts are facts. Holes is holes.
Mary Lou later said, quote, "There's something wrong with the system that allows a 13-year-old boy to kill his mother and nothing was done. And they insisted that if they'd known his history, they never would have let them near their family," which that's like what you said, Dave. Like, if Terry is cool with it, fine, but they wouldn't have let their daughter near him.
No, never.
If I'm in that situation, I'm not letting someone with domestic violence charges be anywhere near my family.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Bill Jones openly blamed Herbert and Angela for protecting Charlie instead of the public. He said that they should have gotten him help, that he needed help, and that, quote, "this man could have been stopped."
Well, to be fair, I don't think it's Angela's responsibility.
No. The Herbert's the one that caused all this, really. Well, he didn't call. No, I shouldn't say that.
He got him out of or he pushed to get him out of protective care or whatever he was in. He should have been institutionalized for the rest of his life, right?
Maybe so. And at the very least, you can understand a father wanting to help his kid, but then you got him out and you didn't help him. You brushed it under the rug and went on with life, pretending like nothing happened. You didn't get him counseling. You didn't give him treatment. You didn't get him anything.
No.
So in that sense, he fucked up big time.
And you also fucked up all your other kids because you forced the older daughter to live with this.
Yeah.
And then you lied to the other two.
Yeah.
The Brandt family mostly stayed quiet. Herbert was 75 years old at that point, and Angela was 51. They both declined any interview requests.
Nine.
In a private conversation that's reported on with Mary after the murders, Mary Lou says Angela did say that she had been terrified of her brother for decades. She allegedly felt relief that Charlie killed himself because, quote, "now I can sleep at night." In this conversations, it said that for 20-some years, Angela never left her windows open or her doors unlocked. She even avoided running an air conditioner because she was scared that Charlie would show up one day to, quote, "finish what he started in 1971.
I believe it.
What? The air conditioner, I don't get that.
She couldn't hear someone breaking in.
Yeah.
That's how I took it.
Okay. I sweat just thinking about not having air condition.
Being in Florida with no air conditioner? Might as well just kill me, Charlie, because I can't have that.
God.
At this point, detectives from Monroe County, down in the Keys, Miami-Dade, Orange County, and the FBI pulled together a task force to go back through cold cases and see where Charlie might fit in. They got a search warrant for the Brandt's house on Big Pine Key, and they found some interesting stuff inside. Investigators found an anatomical chart of a nude female body hanging on the back of the bedroom door, and neither Charlie nor Terry had a job that explained why that would be there.
Maybe they just liked anatomical nude female diagrams.
Maybe.
Who are you to judge, Ian? Ian Namapod. I have an anatomical goat chart on the back of my bedroom door. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I have an anatomical chart of every 80s and 90s pro wrestler on the back of my walls. So what does it matter?
So Shawn Michaels' pelvic muscle right there. See?
Anyone who listened to the end of our 2025, the variety show, would know I'm well versed on cock bulges and body hair. Why do you think that is? I study anatomical. I study pictures, charts. It's science, guys. It's science.
It is science.
I have not, nor have I ever dated a 7-year-old. I have not, nor have I ever dated a 7-year-old. No, I know. I just said that.
They also found stacks of medical books and surgery manuals, plus a big anatomy textbook where Charlie had tucked a paper, sometimes described as a newspaper clipping, of a human heart, not specifically of a case of his. So it's weird.
It's a little weird. Yeah.
It's out in the open. You know what I mean? It makes me question more what Terry knew and what she didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
There's also all the Victoria's Secret catalogs, which is fucking weird. Regarding pornography, police said that Charlie was into violent stuff. On his computer, forensic techs found browsing history for snuff websites, autopsy photos of women, and forums on necrophilia and death fantasies.
I'm fucking chubbed up now hearing that.
Looking at autopsy photos to jerk off to is wild. That just blew my mind when I was reading about him doing that. Like,
We don't know that's what he was doing.
oh, okay.
Wow.
Maybe he was studying how to cut a body open because he was pretty good at it.
Good. That snuff thing makes me think otherwise.
No, that's not good. I'm fucking chubbed up now hearing that. Enough. By the way, probably Slipknot's best song. Just saying. I don't want to piss off all you metalheads, but Snuff might be their best song.
That's good too.
What album's that from?
It's like their ballad, right? Do they have other ballads besides that? I don't really know.
That is the most ballady, I would think.
That's probably why it's not ringing a bell. I don't.
You're not a ballad guy?
Album All
No,
Hope Is
one.
Gone
Yeah.
from 2008.
People Equal Shit's my favorite Slipknot song.
That is a good tune.
People equal shit.
Yeah, it's the first song on Iowa.
Incidentally, that doesn't sound like anything Brooks and Dunn might sing.
I remember listening to Throwing Iowa on for the first time when I was a kid, and People Equal Shit's the first track on that. I'm like, oh man, this is fucking good.
Isn't Iowa like their second album or like third album?
Their second album.
Yeah.
So it's like 2001.
Yeah.
So I guess I wasn't a kid, but whatever.
Well, what, like 15, 14, 15?
Yeah.
I
already had a tattoo. I was living that crick life.
Yeah. Let's go.
Here I am at 40. Like, oh no.
Stupid.
We got to start working on that. What I'm going to get. I mean, I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get the Necro logo, but we got to figure out what the design's going to actually look like.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Yeah. And I'm just throwing that out there. I'm dropping hints so that people don't expect me to get like my entire fucking back covered or, anything insane. I'm going to get the Necronomipod logo on the back of my shoulder. It's just what exactly that logo is going to look like. We'll have to work out. I have some ideas.
Like how many penises will be in it?
Yeah. You mean while they're tattooing me? How many penises will be in me while they're tattooing? I just assume that's what goes on. It's like prison in those tattoo parlors, right? Hopefully somebody brings me some toilet wine and I can get drunk at least while I'm being violated both on my skin and in my anus.
That's going on the soundboard, both in my skin and in my anus. That's a good one. Yeah.
It's also the name of my third album. In my skin, in my anus.
In May 2006, investigators closed the book on the Sherry Parisho case. With new evidence and witness statements, Monroe County detectives said with certainty that Charlie killed her in 1989. They had the proximity. Sherry died less than 1,000 feet from the house. They had the composite sketch that doesn't really match Charlie, but... And then Jim Graves testified to Terry finding Charlie with blood on him that night and her questioning that he might be involved in that. The task force also strongly suspected Charlie in at least two other killings, the 1988 Lisa Sanders case and the 1995 Darlene Toller case, because both had elements that lined up with what they now saw as his pattern. Though the Lisa case had complicating factors, But aside from Sherry, they said they didn't have enough to conclusively tie him to other crimes. With Darlene Toller and the dog hair, like I thought there was going to be a cool forensic files like gotcha moment with this dog hair, like they were going to find the breed and everything, but we don't get that.
Dog hair.
The most recent reporting I could find on it was from 2007, where Detective Pat Diaz said that if they could test that DNA, that they would get 100% match that Charlie did it, but it's expensive to test that dog hair, and I don't think that it has happened.
Can't you do like dog DNA testing now to like find out all that shit about like what kind of specific breed and who their parents are and stuff? Like a 23andMe or whatever that shit is that people do.
I believe you can.
Yeah, I mean, there are forensic file cases, like the TV show, where people, like, the case gets solved because of dog hairs and shit. You know, like they link them, but that's what I thought was going to happen here, but it did not. They also went back and looked at all those other cases that we talked about, but nothing concrete to where they could close any more cases or anything like that. Just weird things with like how we said he kept track of everywhere he went and all of his gasoline purchases and stuff. It's kind of like we know we were up to something, but we can't prove it kind of thing.
We know you probably did some of this, but we can't link it yet.
He's definitely responsible for more than we know.
Yeah.
At least a couple, I would say.
I think I would agree with that.
At the end of this whole thing, you're kind of just left with the psychological part of this case. Like, what set him off at 13 years old to kill his mother and then seemingly live a normal life for an extended period of time and then become a serial killer?
Well, Michael Myers, when did he first kill it? 6? And waited all that time to come back?
But he was also locked up for a while, right?
Yeah. 15 years.
Yeah, Charlie was only locked up for like a year.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't get any treatment.
No, thanks, Herb.
Yeah, fucking Herbie. As Dave calls him, Herbie the Nazi.
Yeah, not Herbie the love bug. Herbie the Nazi. 9. Du hast.
I forgot about that clip. Fucking isolated vocals.
I got to pull that 9 out of there because there's that 9 in there, that isolated clip. 9.
Yeah.
9.
The Jones family, that's Michelle, they really wanted some changes here. They felt that Charlie, the murder of his mom shouldn't have been able to be kept a secret the way that it was. They proposed a public registry, basically like a sex offender registry, but for anyone who's killed someone, regardless of age or circumstances. Mary Lou said, quote, "There should not be Charlies on the street." She said if their tragedy could spur reform, then Michelle's life would have meaning. And Terry's life would have more meaning too, but nothing has come from that push to pass that law.
I mean, there should not be Keats on the street. I think we can all agree on that.
Well, I mean, come on.
That's Charlie.
I'm pretty sure Congress is working on legislation on that right now that all Keiths would be immediately executed. And I mean like on the knees, gunshot to the back of the head, like full throttle execution.
Something like that. Like if someone breaks into my house and I kill them, I should not be in a registry of people that kill somebody. I'm not,
Yeah.
All due respect, Mary Lou, but I'm not in the same vein as Charlie.
Yeah, I think they're a grieving family.
Yeah, of course.
I
get the sentiment for sure.
Sure. And I totally get what they're saying and where they're coming from. But at the same time, you're grieving, you're going through a tragedy. You're maybe not thinking as clearly or rationally as would benefit, society in general.
Yeah. And you don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, you're in a no fucks given situation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. Because if I'm putting myself in their shoes, I'm going and finding Herbert and beating Herbert's ass. Like, what the fuck, man? You're keeping the secret from all these people.
Yeah. I don't give a shit if he's 89 years old. I'm going to fucking curb stomp his ass. Seth Rollins style.
As you should all 89-year-old Nazis.
To be clear, we do not know he's a Nazi.
Wow.
Okay. Well, Ian, before we, get into just final thoughts, anything else that we didn't touch on? Anything else that you saw in your research? Anything of note?
No. I don't think I have anything else.
I never heard of this guy before.
No, neither had I. I was looking through listener requests. Pulled it off the list.
You never know when that your request is just going to pop through.
Inquiries at necronomipod.com.
Oh, fuck. You just blew up my email, pal.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was some like earlier childhood shit that Charlie was up to that got swept under the rug potentially.
Was Herbert anally abusing Charlie? Is that what you're suggesting?
No, I meant like maybe he was doing like killing animals or doing other weird shit that Herbert just didn't.
9.
Yeah. Like if he's willing to look past his wife being murdered.
Yeah, that's true. What else is he just looking, to sweep under the rug and just try to pretend he's living a happy life?
Because the story really does start when Charlie turns 13. Like we don't have a lot of the deets on what was going on from 1 year old to 13.
All right. You guys got any other final thoughts? Dave, anything else?
I weep for the world.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Well said. Ian, anything else from you?
No, I'm good.
All right. Dave, what do we got on Patreon?
Well, thank you to new patrons. Anxus Android 32. Or is that ANXS Android 32? We'll go with Anxus. Aubrey Collins. I shit my pants at Bob Evans. Well, I hope you didn't have that country fried steak because that's delicious.
It really is. And the biscuits and gravy.
Jamie Garcia. Be quiet and drive. I see Deftones still starting their show with Be Quiet and Drive. Good tune. Sarah. Jenny Smith Fisk. Amantha Martin. Dat Dang Cat. G.R. Lamar. Leslie Starr. Tree Trunk Ho Slapper.
What's that mean?
Eve B.
Best not to ask.
Eve B. Alex. Chelsea. Shelby Moore. Ava Snedden. Ghetto Dollar Store. Cuck at the Crick. Cuck at the Crick. Ray Miller. Lewis Forsyth. Grace. Ellie Georgeson. Robbie Blaine. And Jackie Rennie. Thank you, new patrons. Please enjoy your time on our Patreon store, our Patreon site, our Patreon archive, our Patreon utopia.
A lot to say on it. Tons of content out there. Check it out.
Yeah.
Tell your friends. Ian, what's going on your end?
On Patreon, we just had that poll that was neck and neck, right? Because we started doing the runoff thing where if there's not a majority, we do a runoff for the poll. And we had one that was like 50-50, and then it slightly bumped 51-49 or 40, whatever. Hannah Up is what lost. The winner was Peter Bryan. Was that his name?
Yeah, cannibal guy.
Yeah. That was a really good episode. This month coming up, we're going to do Hannah Up.
Due to
on,
popular
on
demand.
Patreon. Yes.
Patrons demand it.
Another bonus of being a patron is once a month on Patreon, you get to vote for one of 3 shows that we might cover. So you get to have a little say in what you get to hear. And like Ian said, this one was a 3-way vote that nobody got the majority. So we cut it to a 2-way vote, and it was still neck and neck. And we did the winner, and then we're going to give people second place next month because clearly they want to hear it.
Yeah. And I finished that up. I finished writing that today. And I'm excited to talk about that one. It's a really, really weird case. Be a good discussion. So that's there. And then at the Art Belts here, we're going to do that stream again later in the month. And episode 1 is there too.
Yeah.
Fun.
Like we said earlier, you'll be doing part 2 later this month. Details on that, TBD.
Yeah.
We'll send it out. Dave, anything else on your end?
No, I'm good, man.
Okay.
Thanks for asking, though.
Well, we are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at Necronomipod, patreon.com/Necronomipod, amazon.com, search Necronomipod for all of our merch, and necronomipod.com.
All right. You guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.